Hello and welcome back to my blog. Part 7, Practice of Autosuggestion by the Method of Emile Coue, revised edition by C. Harry Brooks. Section 3, The Practice of Autosuggestion, Chapter 7, Part 2, The General Formula. We have previously seen that the unconscious tide rises to its highest point compatible with conscious thought just before sleep and just after awaking, and that the suggestions formulated then are almost assured acceptation. It is these moments that we select for the repetition of the formula. But before we pass on to the precise method, a word of warning is necessary. Even the most superficial attempt to analyze intellectually a living act is bound to make it appear complex and difficult. So our consideration of the processes of outcropping and acceptation has inevitably invested them with a false appearance of difficulty. Autosuggestion is above all things easy. Its greatest enemy is effort. The more simple and unforced the manner of its performance, the more potently and profoundly it works. This is shown by the fact that its most remarkable results have been secured by children and by simple French peasants. It is here that Coue's directions for the practice differ considerably from those of Baudouin. Coue insists upon its easiness, Baudouin complicates it. The 4 chapters devoted by the latter to relaxation, collection, contention, and concentration produce in the reader an adverse suggestion of no mean power. They leave the impression that autosuggestion is a perplexing business which only the greatest foresight and supervision can render successful. Nothing could be more calculated to throw the beginner off the track. We have seen that autosuggestion is a function of the mind which we spontaneously perform every day of our lives. The more our induced autosuggestions approximate to this spontaneous prototype, the more potent they are likely to be. Baudouin warns us against the danger of setting the intellect to do the work of intuition, yet this is precisely what he himself does. A patient trying by his rules to attain outcropping and implant therein an autosuggestion is so vigilantly attentive to what he is doing that outcropping is rendered almost impossible. These artificial aids are, in Coue's opinion, not only unnecessary, but hindersome. Autosuggestion succeeds when conscious and unconscious cooperate in the acceptance of an idea. Coue's long practice has shown that we must leave the unconscious as senior partner in the concern to bring about the right conditions in its own way. The fussy attempts of the intellect to dictate the method of processes which lie outside its sphere will only produce conflict, and so condemn our attempt to failure. The directions given here are amply sufficient, if conscientiously applied, to secure the fullest benefits of which the method is capable. Take a piece of string and tie it in 20 knots. By this means you can count with a minimum expenditure of attention, as a devout Catholic counts his prayers on a rosary. The number 20 has no intrinsic value. It is merely adopted as a suitable round number. On getting into bed, close your eyes, relax your muscles, and take up a comfortable posture. These are no more than the ordinary preliminaries of slumber. Now repeat 20 times, counting by means of the knots, the general formula. Day by day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. The words should be uttered aloud, that is, loud enough to be audible to your own ears. In this way, the idea is reinforced by the movements of lips and tongue and by the auditory impressions conveyed through the ear. Say it simply, without effort, like a child absently murmuring a nursery rhyme. Thus, you avoid an appeal to the critical faculties of the conscious, which would lessen the outcropping. When you have got used to this exercise and can say it quite unself-consciously, begin to let your voice rise or fall, it does not matter which, on the phrase, in every way. This is perhaps the most important part of the formula, and is thus given a gentle emphasis. But at first, do not attempt this accentuation. It will only needlessly complicate, and by requiring more conscious attention, may introduce effort. Do not try to think of what you are saying. On the contrary, let the mind wander whither it will. If it rests on the formula, all the better. If it strays elsewhere, do not recall it. As long as your repetition does not come to a full stop, your mind wandering will be less disturbing than would be the effort to recall your thoughts. Baldwin differs from Coue as to the manner in which the formula should be repeated. His advice is to say it piously, with all the words separately stressed. No doubt it has its value when thus spoken, but the attitude of mind to which the word pious can be applied is unfortunately not habitual with everyone. The average man in trying to be pious might end by being merely artificial, but the child still exists in the most mature of men. The infantile mode of repeating the formula puts one in touch with deep levels of the unconscious where the child mind still survives. Coue's remarkable successes have been obtained by this means, and Baldwin advances no cogent reason for changing it. And that's the end of today's part 2 of chapter 7. More of that tomorrow. Make it a great day, and bye for now.